Hi there. This is going to be quite meditative, but then again, I think that's what my talks are. When I'm doing these talks, I'm going through a lot of healing myself, the spiritual awakening for just under 9 years, I think it is. And, so there's a lot of healing going on. When there's a lot of healing going on, see, breath follows your perceptions. And this is how you change your awareness. You do it by changing what you're suggesting to yourself. Everything comes from suggestion, and from suggestion comes perception. And that's how you become meditation all the time, is by simply, because we're always, thinking things. And when you're thinking things, you're, like I say, you're self-suggesting to yourself. And how you change your awareness is by changing what you self-suggest, how you look at something. This is what the spiritual awakening did for me. It showed me this, and over the years, there was lots of different things in this awakening, loads of different elements to it. On all my videos I say it did this, did that, but there's so much, and it's it was a case of me being, I was watching a Eckhart Tolle video yesterday, and he said it about awakening. He said that you're put out your comfort zone. You don't awaken unless you're put out of your comfort zone. And it was very bad depression, and then I sat down one day and had enough. And in this having enough, I started going through a spiritual awakening. At the start, I didn't know it was a spiritual awakening. And the awakening from that point onwards was showing me what we all are and what I am, which is simply just pure consciousness with no right or wrong, no set way, just love. And then, insights start pouring into you once you decide to wake up. It's a decision to wake up. But this is why it happens to a lot of people that are depressed, because you're forced to wake up. And then you go on this journey where you're now interacting with this higher divine part of yourself. And anyone can do it, but like I say, it's most people that are comfortable in life won't do it. It's like just now with the coronavirus. I feel that I have a different perception of this thing. I think that this will wake people up. That's what I reckon. See, God moves things in certain ways that look confusing. That's what they say. God moves in mysterious ways, but there is no death. For example, we perceive death as a tragic thing, but it's actually just a transition to a different reality. That's because, like I say, the spiritual awakening that I was going through, what's happened now, you've got a heaven self. And that's a different kind of awareness to the physical self. And in spiritual awakening, you're now aligning with that self. And you're now aware that everything is one. And everything is in fact perfect, if you choose to look at it that way. To be conscious means that you're self-conscious, you're self-aware of the fact that it's all just how you look at it. And like I said at the start of this video, you become aware of what you're suggesting to yourself, because how you choose to look at something suggests something to yourself. And then once you become conscious like that, and you can do it right now, simply by paying attention to your emotions, the energies going through your body, your breathing, you'll notice that's like a sensory awareness thing going through your whole body. And that there is no separation as such, that the separation actually helps us grow. And it's an illusion, because when you're aware, if you were knocked out, and then you woke up, you're then aware of something. And so it presents an illusion of two, or separation, or even much separation, but it's one thing, because it's one awareness. And even if you go back to nothingness, then that means it's one nothing. That's why it's all one. And in between your words, you'll actually notice that you might say like I sometimes do, or pause, and then you receive thoughts, you don't think them. And this is because it's we are just channelers as humans, and it's the infinite awareness which is the dictator for reality. So it means that you are the reality, you are the universe, believing that you're a small separate human. And notice the sounds, meditate upon the sounds that you hear. Within that sounds, you will start to get information. Because sounds, frequency is waveform information fields. And and how you perceive that suggests something to yourself also. How you breathe, the textures of each molecule, if you will, is a different feeling as well. Meditate upon that. To meditate means just become it. Just become whatever you're meditating upon. This is why I haven't panic bought or anything in this so-called pandemic, because even my mum said to me that basically that it's strange how I'm acting, but it's because I don't buy into the fear. I can sense things a lot stronger because of this awakening. And what I'm trying to do is pass it on, but I know there's an awakening. This is why the system is done this with the coronavirus. Nothing happens by accident. Remember that. If governments were separate also, then they wouldn't all be having a lockdown, would they? They're just doing the same thing. That's because it's one system, masquerading as separate systems. But we are all waking up now, you see, and that's why things are changing. See, that's what I do all the time. I meditate upon the breathing. I notice that I get information in between my breath. And that's because that's what everything is. It's just frequency, and frequency is information fields. And how you steer your breathing to that of your divine self, or the proper way, people want to breathe properly in the spiritual field, is you just observe it. You become an observer instead of reacting to things. And this steers your breathing into a meditative state. And it steers you into a meditative state of just oneness. And this is awakening. It's simply a case of just being still. You know, and when you're like this and you're, you know, telling yourself that you just want what's here, you're telling yourself that you're good enough. We look outward when we're not happy with what we have. Very self-destructive. But it's very healing to think that this is enough right here. And this is when we open up our chakras and energy field. Remember, everything is made up. Even chakras, the idea of it, it's all made up. Even if it's a good thing, everything's made up. Nothing is really real. Just awareness, that's all we are. But that's one possibility. There's many more possibilities, even on this planet, many different people. So I know nothing. And in this knowing nothing, this is the road to nirvana, which is the no right or the other way. Because that way or the other way is just an idea, a possibility. See, all these things I'm saying in this video, this is the kind of ideas that I come with every second of every day. And that's how you awaken. You simply just stop looking externally and be still, be here. But most people don't do it. It sounds so easy, but most people want the outward thing. Because when they're still, they feel their own energy, so they get anxious. But if you meditate within that, you will heal that anxiousness. And then you start ascending and healing. And all is within you. And I'm just going to leave it there. And if you're watching, you're meant to watch it. Everything falls to divine order and divine timing. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.